Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ.
Matthew chapter 6, verses 22 and 23 says, "The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body is going to be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness." And this principle makes sense. Like, we get this. If I were to go and pull a gallon of milk that had expired 2 weeks ago, and you take the lid off and it smells kind of funky, and you pour some into a glass and it's kind of chunky, and you decide to drink it, that's going to ruin your day. That's going to do things inside of your body that are very uncomfortable, very unpleasant. And because you decided to put that bad thing into your body, your body is full of bad things for the rest of that day until that milk is no longer part of you. You know what's funny is putting things into my body has changed a lot over the years. Because when I was younger, and maybe you're the same way, I wasn't as concerned about the things I put into my body and how it would make me feel. You know, stuffed peppers and pizza and burgers for breakfast was fine. And now thinking about eating some of that stuff puts me into a coma, and I think about how much that would ruin my day. I don't think about as much about, oh, how tasty that stuff was. That's what I was thinking about at the time when I was younger. Oh, that stuff tastes so good. And I didn't think about how it was really affecting my life and how it was really affecting me in the future. But the things we put in our body absolutely affect us. There's things that I don't prefer the taste as much, but man, I love the way I feel. I love the way I feel after I eat some fresh vegetables, and after I start the day with maybe some chia seeds or some vitamins or things. I love the way it makes me feel during the day. When I put good things in, my body acts good and feels good. And when I put bad things in, it doesn't feel as good. It's a pretty simple concept. You know, it's the same way though with our spiritual lives, with our mental lives, with the way we live our lives. There's a lot of truth in putting good things in and seeing good things come out, or bad things in and bad things going out. There's a lot of things that taste good going in, but aren't good for us. You know, that pizza that tastes so good, but then we feel really bad later. Well, what about something like gossip? We know we don't need to be a part of that. We know that it's going to affect us negatively, but it's just so juicy, isn't it? And we just need to be able to talk about those things and those people. What about a little white lie? It's not going to hurt anybody. It's going to make my life a little bit easier right now. So I'm going to do that knowing that it's going to hurt me. What about other things that we put in? What about the coarse jokes with some of our friends? You know, I know that this isn't the best for me, but it's just so funny. And I really like these people, and I don't want to offend them by saying what they're doing is wrong. You know, these movies that I really enjoy, they're so funny. They're filling my head with negativity, I know, but it's just so tasty going in. And we're poisoning ourselves. And it's no different than drinking that nasty, chunky, expired milk, because we know what's going to happen later. Is that stuff's going to come back out. And that stuff is going to exhibit itself in our life, and it's going to be embarrassing, and it's going to be toxic, and it's going to be poisonous. Paul says do this instead. Paul says focus on these things that are going to come out, and they're going to shine out, and they're going to shine out in a good way. He says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Think about these things. Focus on these things. Let these things go into your mind and go into your heart and come back out of your mouth. What about news? Focusing on the news is tasty in a way. It's tasty in a way that it brings us a lot of comfort and security to know what's going on. It brings us some comfort and security in being able to talk to people and say, oh yeah, I heard about that. Here's my opinion on someone else's opinion, right? Here's what I think. and being able to clutch that so tightly and put our faith in that so tightly, it feels good. But what is the fruit of that? And what are we focusing on? Is all the news we watch right now, is it pure? Is it honorable? Is it true? Is it just? Is it lovely? Is it commendable? Is it excellent? I'm not saying all news is bad. In fact, I think it's positive to get some news. But when we focus just on that for 24 hours a day, which we can now, can't we? What about social media? Is it true? Is it just? Is it lovely? A lot of times it just isn't. What about opinions that we hold to very strongly? Political beliefs that we're that we are very much standing behind and think are very important. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But can we use those platforms sometimes to maybe make those things not true and not just and not excellent and not praiseworthy? What are some things in your life that are absolutely 100% true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, excellent, praiseworthy? What are some of those things? Well, let's think about some. Let's focus on a few things that can make our lives a little bit better and make us feel better and make what comes out of us better. What are some things that are honorable and true? How about God's Word? If we spend time in God's Word, guess what's going to come out? God's Word. What about songs of praise? If we focus on those are going to come out of us. How beautiful. What about God's creation? What about the things that He's made? What about God's people? You know, it's been said that you are the product of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. If you spend time with people of faith, with people who love you and love God's Word, guess what's going to shine out of you? People who love people, God's Word, those kinds of things. Let me challenge you to focus on the good things, to put the good things in your body. Not necessarily the things that taste the best going in, but the things that make you feel the best and perform the best. Things that are true, things that are honorable, things that are just, things that are pure, things that are lovely, commendable, excellent, and praiseworthy. Have a great week. I love you.